Hey good people, welcome back to Beauty and the Frizz. My name is Cara. Whether you're new or returning, thank you so much for stopping by and hanging out with me for another one today. Really excited, y'all, because I will tell you, sometimes if I have some tasks to do, I will put my recording first because it's something that I really enjoy. But today I finished my progress reports early. Oh, they're due tomorrow, but they're done. And I wanted to sit down and do a video where I talk about makeup that I want to use in the month of May. This came about because on my other channel, Frizz and Fragrance, I want to do a perfume tray. A lot of fragrance content creators do those type of videos where they talk about fragrances that they want to get to know. And I'm like, why am I not doing this with my makeup? Because at the end of the month, as you know, I just did a April roundup with palettes that I just happened to use or review. But I'm like, why don't I be a little more deliberate about it? Because I do have makeup that I haven't used. I do have makeup that I want to use even more. So this is gonna be the first video of this, and you'll have to let me know your thoughts about it. So if you wanna see the makeup that I want to use in the month of May, keep watching this video. Let me know what you think. And if makeup is your therapy and your love, if it makes you happy and you wanna hang out with those that feel the same way, definitely consider joining the community. I would love to have you back. All right, let's get started. So how are you? I'm excited because I just am. This is the first video I've done like this, and my YouTube channel is going on 4 years old this month. Actually, probably in a couple weeks, 4 years. So I'm really excited. I do want to tell you about this makeup look because it's real basic, but it's real cute. I have on Gucci's Soft Red Blush. I have on my Westman Atelier foundation that I just put in a few areas. Did I use concealer? I used my Huda Beauty Cherry Blossom color corrector, my Natasha Denona concealer, and then my peach pie powder. I love how that makes my under eye look. I have on my Patrick Ta Major Brow Lamination Gel and my Maybelline Express Brow Pencil. And then for lipstick, one of my favorites, all-time favorite shade, Velvet Affair, but this is the liquid lipstick. And I did order Velvet Rain and Fawn and the Velvet Rain lip liner from the Lisa Eldridge restock. I didn't think I needed a lip liner for Fawn. I probably would use maybe Affair or something a little bit deeper. So I cannot wait. I'm so excited. That's what I have on, and I love this look. I'm here for it. I am. So let me know how you're doing in the comment section or the chat, whichever you prefer. And I cannot wait to show you what I want to use this month. Y'all, I should have been doing this. I'm like, where have I been? Because I see fragrance creators do these videos all the time about like my perfume tray, what I want to use. And I'm like, no, I have makeup that I want to use that I haven't used or that I want to use more. I just think it's important for me to do this because I was just talking to my mom about it today. And I was talking about it in one of my more recent videos about just trying to scale back. Like even when I scale back, I'm really not. So trying to be conscious of it is really tough. I think it's hard when you have things that you enjoy, that you love. I love trying new makeup. I love trying new perfumes and fragrances, but it's an expensive hobby. And the thing is that I was saying in the last video, I love my collection, but it's just OD. It's so much. It's so much. And I have things that I use that I want to use more. And then I'm like, oh, but I have this, I need to use it. And you know, I'm like, oh, I realized today, I'm not even a micro influencer. Apparently I'm a nano influencer. So it's like, I don't like the whole term influencer, but I was looking up things because I had someone reach out to me about rates for a video. So I started like looking up this YouTube rates calculator, and I was like, oh, I'm a nano influencer. Like, I'm not even into all that. I just really like hanging out with y'all. Like, that's really what I like doing. So what I want to do in this video is show you a bunch of stuff. I want to show you things that are new. I want to show you things that are old. I want to show you things that I want to use this month. And that way, when I do my roundup, it's a little more, I would say, structured. And in case you don't know, and you might be able to tell just from watching my videos and knowing about my life, organization is something I really need help with. Discipline, organization. I would not say discipline, but I would say structure. I need that. And I think that this will really help guide the makeup that I want to use, the eye looks, and just give me some more insight on my collection. If you are new to this channel, I started my channel in 2020 during COVID. I started getting into makeup at the end of 2019. I started just binge buying makeup, especially from ColourPop. During COVID, I was working from home a lot as a teacher, and I was doing these lives, these lunch bunches where I was able to do these lives. We had a long lunch break. I was getting up in the middle of the night. I was filming my videos then because I didn't want my kids to be in it, because the YouTubers that I was watching, no one ever had their kids in the videos. But all in all, this has really come together and become a huge part of my life. And my kids have become a huge part of my channel. It's like a family channel with makeup and other things too. But my collection really spiraled out of control very fast. And I've invested a lot of time and money in my collection. And I love it. I really do. But it's a lot. So let's just go ahead and get into this. Do we want to start with palettes? That's what we're gonna start with, because we you know, palettes are the joy for a lot of us. I mean, a lot of us love complexion, blush, lipstick, all that. But the eyeshadow palettes have been the thing that I went crazy on. I have, it may be 11 or 12 that I want to use in the month of May. So let's talk about them, y'all. Some of these palettes are old, some are new. I haven't used some of them. It's a little embarrassing. Embarrassing, as my friend Akil would say. But that's all the part of this, is the whole transparency. Like, whew, y'all. Okay, palette number 1, I haven't used. I've had it for 2 years, I would say, because this is the Empowered palette from Huda Beauty. And this was the holiday palette. Huda Beauty only releases one big palette a year. Empowered was, what, 2022? So I would say 1 year old, because what was last year? Grunge, pretty grunge. And this was Empowered 2022 holiday. Yeah, yeah. Look at this. Beautiful. I've not done one look with this palette. I have no reasons for not using this palette, except for the fact that I was buying other palettes. I was just overindulging in the eyeshadow palettes. I really like this. I think this, I've never even looked at a review. I have a thumbnail made for this video. It's still, well, no, I don't even have that. I was using PicMonkey for my thumbnails, and I don't even have that anymore. I stopped subscribing to that, and I'm with Canva now. But I had a whole thumbnail made from this. I think this has the potential to be a favorite, because I recently used, last month, I used Rose Quartz. Oh my gosh, I'm tongue-tied. Rose Quartz is a little cool. I loved it though. And that was only my second time since filming with that palette, which that was the 2021 release. And I got that one after, you know, launch. But this one, this to me has the potential to make some warm and cool looks. I have no idea what anybody thought about this palette, because when I do my palette looks, I don't like to look at other people's videos. So I realized I've never looked at a video for this palette. This just has a lot of looks that can be had, and I'm excited to use this in the month of May. So excited. Empowered palette. Only thing I didn't like was I didn't like the whole power, empowered. Like, it was just too much. Like, I see that. I get it. But yeah, that's how I feel about it. And I'm excited. No Petri dish shades in this one like her other palettes. All right, let's move on. Palette number 2 that I would like to use, and I won't be using them in this order, but I'm going to keep everything in a basket. So when I do want to grab eyeshadows in the morning, because my mornings, I'm more so focused now on the boys and them fulfilling their morning checklists. No. So I don't have time to record anymore. So when I do, I can already have a little basket of things to go to instead of looking at my whole collection. We've got Nightmare on Elm Street. This is the Freddy Krueger palette from Glamlight, and I'm really excited to use this. I think this is a modern Melt Smoke Sessions palette. As I continue to experiment and get to know eyeshadow formulas, I realize Melt isn't that great. And Melt, as I said in my last video, they drive me bananas because their color stories are just some of the best. And I love their vibe. I love their aesthetic. They just missed the mark for me. I did purchase this during Black Friday, or maybe after Black Friday, where they had the 40% off. I did get this for just a really great price. And I felt like this is a palette where the theme makeup really is not my favorite. But I think this color story, because I love grungy looks, this doesn't scream Halloween. It doesn't scream anything like that. It screams, girl, these are your shades. I love these grungy greens, brown greens. I'm really excited. The Rick and Morty palette is the last Glam Light palette that I used. And I just think that that formula is great. And if the Freddy Krueger palette is the same, I'm going to be very happy with this palette. So we shall see. Now, palette number 3, I'm not sure what's going on with Menagerie. I have 2 palettes from Menagerie, and I like them both. It's the Sugar Glider palette, Sugar High, as well as the ink palette. I can't remember what it's called. I love both of them. I really like Menagerie. I like that they don't come out with a lot, but they really don't come out with a lot. The other thing that I have from them that I really enjoy is the Best Buds Glow Blush. Beautiful, really beautiful blush. Maybe one of my favorites. But this came out at the end of 2023, and this is the Autherine eyeshadow palette. I don't think I've seen one review on this. And part of me was like, do I sell this palette? I haven't used it. And then part of me was like, girl, look at this palette. Look at this palette. There's nothing about this palette that says sell me. I love everything about it. This is going to be my month to use it. What am I waiting for? I don't know. The only reason that I haven't used something like this is because I've overindulged and I have things that I haven't used. There's no excuse. So I got to hold myself accountable. I want to see, I just want to see what this palette is all about. I love that it's 9 shades. I think that's great. That's like 9 to 12, maybe 9, 12, 15. Those are the shadows. That's the number of shadows that I think are great. I cannot wait to use this. I forgot I had it for a little bit. That's the privilege right there of having the large makeup collection that you forget sometimes what you have. And I gotta stop. It's time. All right, we have palette number 4. This is Plain Jane Remastered from Adept Cosmetics. One of my lovely subscribers mentioned that they had this on a comment. I think it was for the Amy Loves. And they were saying that, you know, they had this palette and they just cannot justify buying Amy Loves. Totally get it. I was the owner of the original Plain Jane and I sold that. And I decided to get the remastered. This is going to be a palette that I'm going to use in combination with something else, either in this box or something that's not. But y'all, what are you doing? I think Plain Jane, so when I talked to the owner of Adept, I can't remember the Jane that this palette was named after, but I always have asked her what the inspo of the palettes came from because I didn't know, but I knew they came from somewhere. And the Jane that this palette was about was someone that they felt like was just ordinary, but it turned out that's the total opposite of what she was. And that's what Plain Jane is. It's not your ordinary palette. It's not your ordinary shades. This is something that's special. I've always felt like Plain Jane was special. How many times have I used a special palette though? Probably once. So that's just what I'm working with. That's just a reality. And I would love to know how special it is. I think it really is, because when Plain Jane came out, there weren't a lot of palettes like it. There's so many indie brands now that if you're just coming into the indie space, Adept, you might not know. You might not know Adept is that girl. It just may blend in with everything else. But when I came into the indie space, Adept was that girl, and still is to me. And that's why I'm always looking out for Adept Cosmetics, and that's why it's a priority brand, because for me it's one of the first indie brands that I was introduced to. The very first one was Unearthly, which was Alien, and then I'm certain Adept was next. And you can't tell me anything about it. You will not be able to convince me that they're not special. So it's like, I need to use these special palettes. So that's why Plain Jane is here. All right, we're gonna move on. The next palette I have, am I gonna count these? I guess so. Number 5, Love Fest. I had Love Fest in a declutter because I remember I purchased this because I have Sephora's near me, but I just don't go into stores that much. I just have stuff to do. And I went into Sephora and was like, I'll just pick this up, because you know that's what we say. Did you pick this up? And I always said, I'm not going to say that, because we're not just picking up anything. We're making a conscious decision to spend money, right? I've never used this palette. Never. I've never swatched it. I've never done anything. Look how pretty this is. This is going to be so pretty for summertime, like going out in the summer. It's pretty now. I want to use this palette. I can't remember which palette it was. I said I had a palette very similar to this. I can't remember which one it was, but I want to use this. I just think it's ridiculous that I haven't, and I'm going to use it this month. That's the bottom line. Palette number 6. This is on my list because many of my friends here have compared this one to the new Lethal palette that I ended up ordering because they had free shipping. And what is that palette called? I was gonna call it Mushroom something, but it's not. I think there's something missing from this that the Lethal palette has. There's some depth to the Lethal palette. Maybe I can put a picture of it here, because there's some depth to the Lethal palette, but I can see why it's a comparison. However, this made me want to go back into the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette and just really play with it. I never gave it too much of a chance because shortly after this, Sydney Grace came out with the Mel Thompson bundle, where she made her own Retro Glam palette, which was so before its time. I cannot tell y'all how much I miss watching Mel Thompson. I can't tell you about it. If you go back now and watch her videos, in case you don't, and I haven't in a while, so I would like to this week, her looks are timeless. You know how you can see, like, when makeup, like, okay, that was a different style. I don't feel like that about her videos, so let me know. Let me know what you think. But I'm going to use the Natasha Denona Retro Glam palette. Maybe I'll bring out the Sydney Grace one when I use it. So speaking of Lethal, I'm going to pull out Midnight Serenade. But this is like the sister to the new palette, or the distant cousin, or whatever. This one has a lot more depth. This is the first palette of its kind, with Lethal having the 15 shades. This is a great palette. It is beautiful. I really like Lethal Cosmetics. And I really would enjoy if next time they're going to come out with something, they don't drag it out for a long time. That's what they're doing with this Avatar collection. And I'm just not sure. Like, Lethal comes out with different things. Like when they did the 7-Up palettes, I really could not get with those. I didn't like the layout. I didn't like anything about it. But this is so nice. Their formula is great. The color stories are great, and I've made my own palettes. I've made 3 with their palette designer. I've gotten the, is it Night Flower? I love that one. I love the Evergreen palette. I love the Metamorphosis palette. And then, again, the 3 that I created. So this is a brand I'm always looking out for. And I knew eventually I'd end up with that new one. I didn't know it was going to be so soon. But that free shipping meant a lot to me coming from Germany. So that's where I'm at with that. So, palette number 8 is brand new. Y'all, I don't even care because the color story isn't even wintry. We got Cozy Cabin here from Simply Posh. I have debated on selling this one so many times. Every single time I go to put this on Macari, I'm like, no. This palette is your perfect layout. still have the tape or the packaging on it. And my friend Jamie sent me the blush palette. It's easy to use. You have all these different looks that you can create. You have the transition, the shimmer, the depth. There's no reason for me to sell this palette. I'm not even going to take off the plastic. This is so gorgeous. Every single time I look at it, I'm like, no, there's something about it that won't let me put it on Macari. So I'm going to use that this month. I don't think it's wintry at all. I love this. I love the fact that this palette, I mean, honestly, there's not a whole lot of palettes that I have where I think are like all year palettes, but this has everything without being like rainbow. And I'm excited. So we're going to use Cozy Cabin. I'm going to use the blush palette too. Hello. Hello. How was the steak? August got steak from Bonefish tonight.
It was also chewy and I almost threw up.
It was chewy and you almost threw up.
I know because I couldn't like swallow it like correctly.
It was medium well. Oh. You didn't want it to be like hard.
I thought it was medium rare.
Do you like rare?
I don't know. I don't never tasted it.
Well, the next time I'll get you that.
Oh, I never tasted it. So.
Well, okay. Let me just do what I'm doing because it's too much. Palette number 9 is another one I haven't used, y'all. This is the Druid palette. Oh my God. So I have Fantasy Cosmetica as a priority brand and haven't used half the things. I think what I've used most from them are their fragrances. And I love them. I actually have 2 lipsticks. So maybe I can use that with the palette. Have not even swatched or used the lipsticks. I mean, it's just excessive. But Druid is, y'all, look at, this is going to be perfect for spring, summer, fall. I don't even care. I think this is beautiful. One of the things that I love about Fantasy Cosmetica is that they have these like really curated color stories. There are 9 pans. And I think Jordan, the owner, just puts a lot of thought into the palettes. I think that the customer service is great, really creative brand. And this is an example of a brand that they don't make their shadows, like they're not like homemade. But this is an example of a brand that's picking out the shadows and really curating what it is that they want. They're not just saying like, let me just do whatever or cash grabby. I don't get that from Fantasy Cosmetica at all. And I love that about this brand. So I'm going to be using Druid along with my Druid fragrance, which is, it's over here somewhere. Oh, that's not Druid. But I got Sorcerer right here. But like their fragrances are great.
Mom, remember this?
Yeah, I do. So that's going to be what, palette number 9, I think. Palette number 10 is a love, y'all. This is Amore Mariposas by Melt Cosmetics. And I just had to remind myself that Melt can do it when they want to. Last month in April, I did use the Fatally Yours palette again, and I was very disappointed. I did not like how the shadows oxidized. I just was so disappointed, and that was such a highly anticipated collection for Melt, and it just fell short. I think the Amore Mariposas collection fell short as well because of how expensive it was. And I have the PR box that I paid for down here sitting on the floor with stuff on top. I think that, yep, this palette was made in Italy. These palettes are different than the others. And that's why, if you like Amore Mariposas, this is probably why you like it. It's because of the quality. And I just think this is great. Yeah, I think it's great. Every single time. Every single time I've worn it. I think this collection really lost the beauty. And the reason why is because they advertise, I mean, even the inside of the box of the palette has red velvet. The reason that it lost its beauty and hype is because they sold the PR box first and it was $400. And I paid for it. It was over $400. And then when the collection went on sale, all of it was on sale for 20% off. And I said I wanted to return it. I was like, I want to return this because like that just was crazy. And what ended up happening is I think because of COVID, because that's the time that this released, 2020, they were just like, you know, we're just going to refund you. So I will say that Melt, their customer service has been 100%. they also one time, there was a glitch or something or a mistake where they had all of the cream blushes on sale for $15, all of them. And I ordered it and I got all of the shades. I don't think it wasn't 15 shades, but the whole collection was $15. Ended up selling some because I didn't need all of them, but $15 was more than what it cost for one. And the day that I purchased it, the label was created for the shipping right away. They changed they figured it out and put it up to the price that it was with the sale, but they didn't say like, hey, this was a mistake. I still got all those shades for $15. So I do complain about Melt, but I will say I really love Laura Oriano. I love her aesthetic. I love her style. I think Dana's great. I just think they have some misses with their eyeshadow formula, and I really hope that they can come back and get it together. I know they've had some wax in their palettes and people thought it was mold and things like that, but they've got some other good products, and I think that they are overshadowed. I actually have some Melt products here in this video that I want to share because I'm not just doing eyeshadow palettes. So let me get to the last eyeshadow palette, and this is going to be RIP because Kaleidos is just not the Kaleidos that when I came into makeup that I knew. This is the Futurism Sashimi City palette, and I wanted to pick something neutral. I wanted to do one of the sweet shops, but it was in the other room and I was like, I can't deal with finding where it is. But I think I'm gonna have the sweet shops waffle cone in next month for June. But this is Sashimi City, and I love this palette. There are a lot of shades that have this duochrome pink to gold flip now, so I don't know if it seems as special at this point, but I think at the time, and I didn't get this when it launched, but that was pretty special. You got two mattes. This one has more of a redder tone, kind of a redder, more neutral tone. This one's deeper. I don't know, sometimes the Futurism palettes, because I have the Lunar Lavender, there's like two browns that are so similar, but I really like this. I still would have loved to get my hands on the one that was the more green one, but that one's long gone. So I thought it would be nice to pull out Sashimi City. And that's where we are for eyeshadow palettes. I have 11 for the month of May that I'm going to be using. So my plan is that if I don't film with these palettes, I will have pictures of them for the roundup. But I might do some get ready with me videos. Do we still love her videos with some of these palettes? And I'm not limited to these palettes, but I just want to make sure that they're included. Now, I do have some other products that I want to use, and I can't wait to show them to you because I didn't want to limit it to eyeshadow palettes because I have some other products that are so great. I want to start with my Kaleidos lip clays. My Kaleidos lip clays are some of my favorite lip products. I have 4 tins worth of these lip clays. Some of them are really bold, some of them are more neutral, from different collections, like what was it called? I was gonna call it Cyberpunk, but that's not what it was called. I can't remember. The one that had the palette that you could just lift off and it came in the dresser, which I still have sitting over there. These are some really bold colors. This one was from the apple one, and I was hoping they came out with a palette with that, and they didn't. They had this little apple you could paint something. I was like, no, I want that. This was also from that same collection, the apple. I can't remember what it's called. And then this one, I can't remember. I'm missing one. It's around. These are all like nude shades. They're really, really good. So I would like to really get into my Kaleidos lip clays this month. Obviously, I'm not going to be able to use all of them, but some of them. Let's get into some more. So we're doing lip products. I have 3 lipsticks from Prada Beauty. When I went on the deep end and bought the Prada Beauty foundation, I bought 2 eyeshadow palettes, and I bought 3 lipsticks. I love the foundation. I have a second shade in the foundation. I've used 1 eyeshadow palette. I have another eyeshadow palette. It's like with the gray and yellow I haven't used. Then I have these 3 lipsticks because I was going to do 3 separate videos and it didn't happen. So sometimes my plans just don't go the way they're supposed to. So I'm opening these for the first time. So I have, let's see, because they have hyper mattes and then there's the soft matte. So let's look at the hyper mattes because I have two. I cannot wait. So this one is called Arancio. I'm not going to swatch them. Look at that color. Look how pretty that color is. I cannot wait. And apparently this bullet style is supposed to, no real smell. Not like Gucci or Dior. The lip shape, bullet shape is supposed to be very helpful. We'll have to see about that. The second hyper matte I have is in the shade, ooh, Argyle. Argyle is a nude. I know that for sure. And this is the first shade I saw. I was like, yes, this is all me right here. So that's Argyle. And then finally, my girl, Kinky Sweat. I know she got this shade. This is a soft matte in the shade Caramel. I know she got Caramel. We like a lot of the same things. That's Caramel. So that's a soft matte. I think the hyper mattes are a little more bold, and these are a little more soft and blurring. So we'll see. I'll have to go into the description about the different lipsticks on the packaging. The soft matte is all silver, and the hyper matte has a gold right here, like going all the way around. So very excited to use my Prada lipsticks in the month of May, finally, because I've had them, I would say, excuse me, I'm not interested in that. I think I've had them since before 2024. I can't remember, or maybe early 2024. That was too much. I'm not into that.
What?
Whatever it was that you were just doing. Like, what? All right, we're gonna keep going with lipsticks. Oh yeah, we got some stuff to talk about. Okay, we're gonna keep going with lipsticks. Now, at the end of 2023, I was sharing in my last video. Okay. I got into like Glam Light, was buying a whole bunch of stuff. Yes, goodbye. I was buying a whole bunch of stuff from Glam Light, palettes and such. And I did buy some lipsticks. So these are from the Scooby-Doo collection. So let's go ahead and take a look at them because I don't know what they look like. This is the Jeepers lipstick. So I want to use this. That's the Jeepers lipstick. I can't remember the last time I've tried a Glam Light lipstick. So I'm very curious to see like what's the quality like. I really have no clue. We also have the Rara lipstick. Remember, this is Scooby-Doo. I was like, why did you get all of these? I was like, why did I get all of these? Oh, I know why. I'm looking at the shades. They're like really nice nudes. So that's pretty. I'm going to be using that. I mean, these are going to be easy to use. And I also have the Zoinks lipstick. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to use these. Like, I got to use this stuff. It's ridiculous. Ooh, okay, that's really pretty. Okay, so I will be using all three of those. More lipsticks. I have the shade Foxglove. Oh, Foxglove is so pretty. This is a matte from Hourglass. This is so beautiful. I'm already a huge fan of the Hourglass lipstick formula in the satins and the mattes. So I can't wait. Oh my God, trying to close these things is like the worst thing in life. This makes you not want to buy it though. I'm telling you, it doesn't. It like, okay, I don't know how that goes, but I'm done with it. I also have the shade Alpine. Alpine is a satin. This is going to be really similar to a lot of the other lipsticks that y'all see that I like, because you know I like really nude lipsticks. But I haven't even used Alpine yet, so very excited. That might be it for lipsticks, so let me see. That's it for lipsticks. Let's talk about blush. Let's start with two old ones. So I told you I have some more Melt products here. These are the Duo Dust blushes. These are made in Italy, actually. We have Raw Honey. This is a classic favorite. I don't know anybody that doesn't love these blushes. And I still wish, like, if I had done it all again, I would have gotten the little honeycomb bee mirror because it was so cute. And Buzzkill, the more like coral one, really beautiful. I love these. I don't know what year those came out, but I love those. I have two blushes from Mama Pat that I've never used. So the Divine Blush Legendary Glow Color Bomb. Got these on sale. I've not even swatched them. So this first one is in the shade Sun Kissed Seduction. This is pretty deep. So I want to see what this is going to look like on the cheek and maybe even on the eye. These look like they're pretty buildable, so I don't worry too much about it being too deep. Yeah, I've never tried these blushes. And then the second shade is Divine Rose. That's really odd of me to pick Divine Rose, but I did. Apparently I did. So there's Divine Rose. Yeah, it's going to be nice. So I'm really curious to see what those are going to be like. I think a lot of people like them, but, you know, we don't have as much faith in Patricia. We don't have a lot of faith right now. It's unfortunate, but it's the reality. I also have a new blush from LYS I got during the Sephora sale, and this is in the shade Curvy. And look how pretty Curvy is. Curvy is so pretty. Like all of, oh wow. Oh wow. Okay. Curvy is going to be great. This is already going to be a love. I don't know what the lasting power is like, but the pictures look insanely pigmented. So I think I'm going to really enjoy this. And I think this is going to be one where I may have to put it on my hand and then maybe take a brush to put it on my cheeks. I love how pigmented the LYS blushes are because they're made for all colors in mind. So I think that's great. You can definitely tell these are buildable. I have two more blushes, yes. One is the NARS Afterglow Liquid Blush in the shade Wanderlust. Got this when they launched, and I can't tell you the last time I used it, but I love this shade. It's not a common color that I have for blush, so I'm gonna use that again and see. I've been wearing like more concealer and then bare face, just like my sunscreen serum. So I think that something like this would go great on top, and you can tell like I've just rubbed it in. There's some skincare ingredients in here, and you can see that it's not gonna be like super pigmented. And then my last blush is the Color Fuse blush from House Labs. So I did really make a huge deal about how small the newer House Lab blushes are compared to the old ones. And I had tried out Fire Moon. I have not tried out French Rosette. And I purchased this from the Sephora sale. So I would love to use that this month. And let's just take a look at it. I love Fire Moon. Fire Moon is really beautiful. I think this one and French Rosé are really pretty, or French Rosette, not French Rosette, not Rosé, whatever. I think it's pretty. This is gonna be the closest to like your everyday neutral. I do have Hibiscus Haze, but that's, I don't think it was a little more pink, a little more rose. So excited. Can't believe how small these are though. That's a shame. So I don't think the price difference really matched with that. All right, I have a bronzer. This was gifted by one of my really, really good friends here on YouTube. And this is the RMS Beauty bronzer. And this is in the shade, let me tell you, Tan Lines. Really excited. When I saw these blushes or bronzers from RMS, I just thought they looked really nice. I just didn't get a chance to order them. And when my friend contacted me, I'm like, yeah, I would love to try this because I do think that it's going to work on my skin. But I don't know how this is going to show up. But I'm really excited to see. I think it's going to show up really nice, actually. It looks kind of neutral, but I know my friend Jamie, her shades showed up gray. So I'm interested in trying these. I think the finish of the RMS Beauty blushes are some of my favorites to date. So can't wait to try out the bronzer. And last but not least, for the month of May, I want to try out the Natasha Denona High Gen Skincare Infused Glow Beautifier. And I was rushing to get these because I was like, oh, I want to do a review. I'm going to get 2 shades. Didn't do nothing. This is, let's see, I don't know. I know I have like medium and deep or something. Oh, dark and medium. Dark and medium. So let's just take a look at these and see. And I have to see because I think there are a couple different ways you can use these. That's what the packaging looks like. And there's the product. There's medium. Go ahead and swatch it now because why not? I think you can use these before your foundation or after just to give you some glow. I mean, that's pretty light. I think it could be almost like a, what do you call it? Like a little highlighter, you know, liquid highlighter. So that's cute. And then let's get what dark looks like. I think there were 4 shades in total. So here's dark. Ooh, these are really pretty. So if you can use these under your foundation, especially if you have like a matte or natural matte, that's going to be great. And then if you use it on top, you know, it can be a highlighter. And as far as any type of foundations that I want to use, so I didn't put anything in my basket for that. I think I want to really use this Supergoop Protect Tint Daily SPF Tint. I purchased this on a whim, but the color was great. I've only used it one time. And from that one time, I felt like I liked it. But I really want to get to know the product. You see the color match is really nice. And we're getting to that. Well, you should always wear sunscreen, right? Because that's what I do. The Kiehl sunscreen serum is what I use. But I think this will be nice, like for little pool days and stuff like that, because I plan to be on vacation. I don't know where. It might be outside my house, but I'm calling it vacation, and that's where I'm at. So these are the products that I really want to focus on using in May. It doesn't mean that I'm not going to review new things or talk about new things or use my classic favorite products, but I really want to start to focus on things in my collection that either I haven't used or things that I have said that I want to use more. I don't want to be focused on like, oh, but you're supposed to be using this. No more of that. This collection is about me, and that's the whole thing. Our collections are about ourselves. The collection expresses us. And I want to use the things that I want to use. And I have things that are old that I absolutely love. And there's no reason for me to not use them. There's no reason at all. So that's what I'm going to do. And I would love for this to be a monthly video if that's something you all are feeling. So the idea behind this is that at the end of the month, I'm going to come back and see, did I use all of these things? Because that's the plan. And if I didn't, why? Like when I went to reach for them, why didn't I feel like using them? That may help me out with some purchasing in the future. And then what else did I use in addition to this? Like, let me know if you think this is a good idea. I'm really excited about it. And I hope you're into it. So that's going to be it. Let me know if you have any products in your collection that you're like, I really want to pull this out this month. And then you can let me know at the end of the month, like, do you, and how did you feel? That's going to be it. Thank you so much for taking out some of your time and hanging out with me for another one today. I hope this was therapy for you. It always is for me. And until I see you again, make sure you're being gentle with yourself. Talk to yourself nice. Stay safe. I'm going to see you in the next one. Bye.